Alright, here's the continuation of the bamboo deal I made in my last video. This one is a little larger. That's because instead of these two drawers I've got put together, I've got four now. And basically the top half is isolated from the bottom half, and this bottom half is basically just an open cabinet for this sub I have down here. So pretty much same deal as my last setup, except the speakers that I'm using now are CE65W-8 Dayton Audio 8 ohm drivers. I've got a down below Dayton Audio 4-inch treated paper cone woofer TCP 115-4. So this is the D-Rock 2.1 board TPA 3116 again, and they got their sub channel crossed over. I can hear the lower end of vocals and instruments, but it's not so high that it screws the sound up, in my opinion. So just to show, I wanted to make this accessible like before. Only way I figured to do that is put the hinges on the top, and you basically get in it this way. 418 650s as before, and that's basically the deal. My sub is going to be fairly overpowering most of the time, but the good thing is obviously you can just dial that back. With the left right treble all the way up, I feel it's a little bit too much on the highs, so dialing that back a little bit and then dialing your sub amplifier down a little bit, I think that produces pretty good sound. This right here is some speaker cloth I found online. I'll put a link to, but dust proof, dust resistant, whatever, scratch resistant, acoustically transparent, whatever. But those are, as you can see, old dead LED strips I folded to as formers to fit in there, and I put that around it. So that stuff's pretty nifty. And you can see this thing's got a standby current. Cut it on. It's about 100 milliamps or so. 16 volts. I'm pushing these nowhere. That's not at full power. 16 volts. I get the volume I need. I shouldn't be cranking these to the point where I blow them, unless running it at max volume with the wrong music like an idiot. Feel like, if I wanted to, I could get banging bass out of here. There's only so much I'm gonna get before this little tiny box starts struggling and it sounds like ass. But whatever. If I'm just looking for additional thumps, deeper little bass, it's definitely what this sub is doing for this situation here. So it works out pretty good. In the end, as far as these boxes go, all I needed was some hole saws, some cheap hole saws, drill bits. So if I was to go the MDF route, I'm not too sure the end result is going to sound so much better that it would be worth it.
Took my first breath where the muddy rises, spills into the Gulf of Mexico, where the skyline's colored by chemical plants that put bread on the table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife, giving a little of a soul every day, making overtime to keep the wolves away.
Alright, now I'm just going to sort of give you an idea of what these knobs do without trying to destroy my speakers. See this middle knob here, left, right? I can basically isolate the sub channel. If I cut that all the way down, you'll be able to hear sort of where it's crossed over at. So you can see that, or you can hear a little bit of those vocals and some of the guitar. Also, by cutting this channel all the way down, it's increasing the output on the sub amp a lot. So you have to keep that in mind. There's a balance you have to find between the two. Likewise, if I cut the sub channel all the way down, now you can hear what it sounds like essentially with no subwoofer. Well, that's not correct. It's actually lacking a little bass because of the filtering, but that's almost what it's going to sound like, because these don't really have a lot of bass.
For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made recovery just to spite the odds. The settlement came and we moved out of town, where the sky isn't heavy with refined lights. Yeah, he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 50s, but the money's running out, and he's painting for pennies. So I'm going for broke with every song I play, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away.
That's easy. It's easily casual listening volume. You can see I'm not pulling a whole lot here. Only in the bass stumps.